Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, there is gain in your pain. I don't know what your pain is right now. Don't know the origin of it. I don't know what has caused it. But I do know, according to the writer in Psalms, there is gain in your pain. Not just physical gain, but spiritual gain as well. When we're working out, and I enjoy working out, and they always say, you know what, if you're not having any pain with it, if you're not stretching it, if it's not really breaking some muscle tissue so it can grow again and build more and stronger, then you can't really know that you're really growing. Well, the same thing is true in your spiritual walk. There is gain in your pain. There's gain in your pain. Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. Got a word for you. You already know. You already know. Got a word for you on this morning. Let me get my mic in here a little closer. Here we go. Let's greet some folk and get right to it on this morning. Don't know the origin of your pain, but I do know that there is going to be some gain, whatever it is. Good morning, Ramona. How are you this morning? Gerald, how are you this morning? But Nesbitt, how you doing on this morning? Liz, how are you on this morning? Vaughn, how are you? Ella, how are you? Cynthia, how are you doing on this morning? Elder Jan, how are you? There's gain in your pain. Elder Mobley, you already know. Verena, how are you? Anna, how are you? Minister Cent, how are you doing on this morning? Dan, how are you on this morning? There is gain in your pain. Dan, the man, how are you? Jewel, how are you on this morning? Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? Ori, how are you on this morning? Felicia, how are you on this morning? Francine is in the house as well. You already know that there is gain in your pain. There is, Patrice, you already know it. There is, Carolyn, how are you on this morning? Dawn, how are you? You know, so many times we're going through some stuff and we become so preoccupied with the pain that we forget that there is a gain in it. We got a word for you on this morning, and there is gain in your pain, Carolyn. You already know it. Linda, you already know it. Dawn, you know it, and that's what it's going to be. You guys want to get into the word on this morning? Got a word for you on this morning. Let's get with the manna and share this word what God has placed in my heart to impart into yours.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Manna, where in 5 minutes or less, you're going to get an impartation with the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Join the Morning Manna fam every weekday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to put in the chat the revelation that you get and share the manna. Now, let's get ready to have some manna so you can make it through your day.
Here's the text. Psalms 119:71. You've heard it before. Hear it again for the first time, but look at it through the lens of what you're going through this morning. Psalm 119:71. It was good for me to be afflicted so that I might learn your decrees. Wait a minute, psalmist. Please. You got to come better than that and different than that. That you would tell me it's good for me to be afflicted. How many of you really feel that way? My affliction is a good thing. Well, that's what the writer is saying. In the longest psalm in the book of Psalms, it's right it there. And this is what it makes this statement. It was good for me. Why? Why was it good for me? Pain is a strange teacher. And that is what he's saying. Now, I want you to get something here. In the context of the text, during biblical times, the Jewish young boys, before they went to Bas Mitzvah, they had to then learn by memory, rote memory, the Psalms and many parts of the Word in which that we read today. Even to the point that they will put some honey on the Word and then touch it with their mouth. That's where we say that it's good, like honey. That's what the Word is saying. And now the writer and what they had to have in memory is this particular thing. You need to know that pain sits on the front row. It ain't going nowhere, and it refused to be ignored. But God has a way of turning what hurts into what helps, transforming affliction into instruction and wounds into wisdom. Pain doesn't just break us, and it does, it builds us. There's three things I want you to get as a result of knowing that there is gain in your pain. One is this: pain becomes the classroom of growth. That means you got a paper to turn in. That means that you got something to do. You got some homework. That means you got to go hard at it because you're in a classroom. If you're in a painful situation, no matter how difficult or how slight it may be, know that you're in a classroom, because sometimes God all allows affliction because it teaches what comfort cannot. When everything is smooth, we drift, but in pain, we lean in, listen closer, and grow deeper. Affliction isn't God abandoning us, it's God developing us. It is. Hear what I'm saying to you on this morning. Now, I want you to know something here. Here's the second thing I want you to get, and that is pain clarifies the voice of God. Pain clarifies the voice of God. The psalmist said, troubled, help me to learn God's decrees. Mm, wow. His word is written, and that is his voice. And now that I'm learning it better, but it was through the prism of pain. Pain has a way of quieting the noise, breaking our self reliance, and making God's word come alive. Dependent. That's what I'm leaning on. I don't have anything else. Your struggle may be the very place where God's voice becomes the clearest. Yeah. Because what pain does is very similar to what happens in our brain. Our brain is not the biggest organ that we have, it's close. But one of the things is that if left alone, it atrophy, it shrinks through painful situations. But the brain has a way of also being able to growing. That's what happens when one has a stroke, and then you have to go back through and relearn because what has been damaged can now restructure itself. The same is true in our walk with the Lord when we're going through some stuff. When we're going through some stuff, that pain there, that the atrophy that it may be causing in our lives. But when we get back into the Word, the third thing is this: pain produces a stronger, wiser you. Here it is. Hardship stretches your faith, purifies your motives, and strengthens your dependence on God. You don't come out of the fire the same way you went in, as the Hebrew boys. You come out refined, wiser, sharper, and more spiritually grounded. That's what they went through. And so would you. So, what's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this: don't waste your pain. Don't waste your pain. God is using it to grow you. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. I got a word for you tonight. Don't you dare miss the word, whether you're in the house or online. Crown check. We're going to kick off with hors d'oeuvres on the series of Advent, and the King is coming. This bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. Stay warm. God bless you.